People thought crime is a social problem. However, from our behavioral and biological point of view, I think crime could be biological disorders. The government, the lawyer may not be willing to admit this. They may fear some crimes will demand to lighten their punishment. A prisoner may say, "Hey, this is not my fault. It's because the little guy in my gut." Sounds like a joke? No, this is not a joke. I can show some data from my lab. Mental disorder is becoming more and more popular in all the world. And let me show you some numbers. About 25%, more than 25% of people will experience some types of mental disorders in their lifetime. It is estimated about 450 million people are currently suffering from mental health problems. It is more than 30% total population of Chinese, and it is 3 times of total population of Japanese. Actually, in China, about 17.5% of population are suffering from mental disorders of any kind. This is about 1 people of 5 have mental disorders in China. Whoa, it is so many people with mental disorders around us. But where are they? In fact, many of them are in the jail. Let's see some other numbers. In the UK, about 90% of prisoners are estimated to have some types of mental disorders, and more than 70% of prisoners have 2 or more types of mental disorders. And the men are 14 times are more likely to have mental disorders than general population. So what happened? What's wrong with them? And now increasing evidences have recently showed that the human gut tract contains a diverse community of microbes and their microbiomes. They play an important role in maintaining human health by influencing physiological and psychological processes, including behavior and brain development. The gut microbiome plays a major role in the bi-directional communication between the gut and the brain. This microbiota may influence mental disorders through the brain-gut axis, and it's also called microbiota, gut, and brain axis. Microbes in my gut. Oh, this little gut can do this? But how? You may ask many questions like this, but it has been proved that gut microbiota can use neural, humoral, and immunological rules to engage in bi-directional communication with the brain. The gut microbiota can produce many neurochemicals, and they can influence mental health and behavior. More than 19% of the body's serotonin and about half of the body's dopamine are produced in the gut. So back to the question, crime is biological factors driven? To answer this question, we designed a study. We found 2 groups of people. One is male inmates and one is health controls. Then we collected their psychological indices and to evaluate their aggressive, anxiety level, self-control ability, and depression status. After then, we collected their blood and tested some neuroactive chemicals like ammonia, hydrosulfate, serotonin, and dopamine. We also collected their fecal or stool. Oh yes, it's very smelly. And we can get all microbes DNA from the stool. And then we sequence the DNA by NGS technology. We can get gut microbiota composition after bioinformatics study, so we can know who are they, and then we can get gut microbiota metabolism pathways information from gene chip technology. Then we can know what they can do. After data analysis, the results showed that the images are very different with controls. The images differ significantly from the controls. At psychological indices, the images are more aggressive, and they are more anxiety and depressed than control. But they have less self-control. That means someone cannot control themselves, and it's hard for them to control their behavior or emotion. From the blood test results, we can also find some images had significantly higher levels of blood serotonin, dopamine, and ammonia. Higher levels of serotonin and dopamine may alter the image's behavior. Ammonia, as a toxic gas, can damage the nerve cells in the brain and may lead to mental disorders. The two groups have different microbiota composition. Then next, we want to know which kind of bacteria has been altered in the image's gut. Who is the bad guy in the gut? And the results showed that the relative abundance of bacteroides was significantly higher in the image, but Prevotella was very lower compared to the controls. Additionally, 4 predominant genera in the control groups were nearly absent in the image. They are Dearlister, Pyrobacterides, Saturalis, and the Losnosphere. Whereas the control groups exhibited higher abundance of other bacteria. They are named Faecalibacterium, Ruminococcus, Blattierre, Coprococcus, Dory, and others. Some studies have shown that the bacteria named Bacteroides was higher in some kind of disease, and Prevotella was very lower in some disease, especially, in autism children and Parkinson's disease patients, their Prevotella in the gut was very lower. However, we still have no idea about their real function in the gut. Then we tested their function genes of the gut microbiota. The genes that were significantly less abundant in the image were involved in amino acid, lipid, antibiotic resistance, and carbohydrate and energy metabolic pathways. These genes are involved in serotonin, dopamine, and ammonia metabolism, and some genes involved in ammonia producing. These genes are very higher in the image, and the higher levels of these genes will raise the ammonia in the gut and in the blood, and finally in the brain. The higher levels of ammonia will cause host behavior and mental disorders. At the end, we found some biomarkers related to the image and related to the mental disorder. Some is very important to the control, and other is very important to the image. And these biomarkers is very representative in the image. These microbes and functional genes need further study to confirm their function. In the future, these biomarkers can be used as clinical biomarkers of mental disorders or other diseases. So this data may answer the question at the start. Criminal may biological factor driven. So the altered gut microbiota can change the host metabolism, and then the wrong neurotransmitters were produced, and abnormal transmitters will lead to mental disorder or behavioral disorders, and the crime may happen when the gas was induced by some factors. Interestingly, the abnormal behavior can also change the human gut microbiota, change the microbiota composition, such as the wrong eating habits from the abnormal behavior. And now, have you know how to prevent crime? It is very important to focus on the factors can make your gut microbiota health. You should eat balance and eat less red meat and eat more vegetables and more good food for the microbes in your gut.